Just not let the thing nothing. Yeah, no. So what's going on, fellas? Neighbor?
Good so far.
What's up? What's up, neighbor? What's up, neighbor?
Hey, YouTube inside, man. YouTube inside.
Hey, YouTube man, doesn't talk about Jillian's a boss. You see, I tell him that now, every time.
So what going on?
So tell me neighbor up the road in the Caribbean day.
Yeah, understand. This TV. When yeah, boy, bad boy.
Like, there's some sports on and some nice little football or cricket.
I'm telling you,
hey, talking about cricket.
You want it? Yeah.
Another cricket.
That's not wait, don't wait, man. Not as yet, man.
No, but yeah, they
don't reach there.
Oh, you need to go ahead, but listen, because actually start on a positive note. Where that West Indies finally
win a test match.
A test.
After how long?
Sadly, is Bangladesh.
No, but we beat England. What it was?
No, we talking. Well, the test didn't finish yet.
I mean,
England dealt with us
afterwards.
Yeah, because we went one game in the test. No, yeah,
dealt with us.
Yeah, no.
It's
like that. Yeah, it wasn't like peas. No, it was done.
Yeah, you see that Trinidad cut us what it was?
Yeah, it was done. It was dead. That was it.
I see that. Yeah.
The Storms look better than the West Indies. The Storms.
But congratulations, what's his name? Myers.
Yeah.
I can't remember first. I think it's Kyle Myers.
Yeah.
First game, international game.
Belgian boy.
Belgian
brethren.
Yeah, man.
You understand? So, come out there and you hold it down.
Hold it down.
Chase up good
Bona, I think is
Bona
is what? Jamaican? One of them I ain't sure.
He's from the West Indies.
From the West Indies, you know that.
But he held his own and of course Myers is his debut double century.
Boy.
Hoping that they go on to bigger and better things, represent the Belgian to the facts, and of course, so Garfield saw us. It's something wonderful.
I still don't agree with the team, I don't agree with the selection of the team, but
you don't want to bring
we have
William inside this argument too.
Oh gosh.
When we start talk selection, he go jump in and start to say that thing.
Oh my God.
You understand?
You know what? But before we jump in,
hold on again.
Hello. Boy, you didn't take a call like.
No, sir. This. No, you need to calm down. Calm down, please. We are mediated. All right. Alex, calm down. Just 2 minutes. I'll come in and say, calm down, and we'll talk to them. You have to have some control.
Talk to them.
Hey, Jillian, here what happening?
But why he talking to them?
Yeah. Listen to the anthem and go come back and hear the drama that going on with that thing, right? So,
songs here.
Show some unity, to help humanity. status quo. What we talking about? Oh, let us show love. Let us pour it out.
Now is the time.
The heads of Africa.
Now is the time.
Famine and hunger.
Now is the time.
Oh, send them a little bread.
Now is the time.
See the children of this world.
Now is the time.
It's all your hands and soul. Now is the time.
It's the time to spell out what we need, and it's for the needy children. Oh, it's for the opportunity. W is the will to live. Now's the time for us to give. Now is the time. 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 Yeah. Now is the time. Now is the time.
Do the things you say.
Now is the time.
To help in every way.
Now is the time.
To show that you really care.
Now is the time.
To show some unity,
Now is the time.
to help humanity.
Yeah. Now is the time. Now is the time.
To do the things you say,
Now is the time.
to help in every way. To show that you really care about everybody.
Now is the time.
To show some unity.
Now is the time.
To help humanity.
Yeah.
Now is the time.
Now is the time.
Contribution time,
Now is the time.
saving people time,
Now is the time.
people for people time.
Now is the time.
Ethiopian time.
Now is the time.
Ethiopian time.
Yeah. Now is the time. Now is the time.
Echo is crying,
Now is the
children
time.
are hungry and dying.
Now is the time.
Show that you really, really care.
Now is the time.
Starving brothers and sisters.
Now is the time.
If you're up in Africa.
Yeah. Now is the time. Now is the time.
To feed the hungry.
Now is the time.
Please the Almighty.
Now is the time.
To show that we really care.
Now is the
Nah.
You
So
was
yes,
having 4 corners about
Yeah, but situation, right? I get it called. Deal with this.
anything good. I was just telling you about
Nice.
that.
I feel like a real short boy. Voice for what?
Yeah, voice.
Voice is a jitter.
I
I know.
Yeah, but you must be phone call there. You go see
I
phone
said, man, I was on the ground there. Yeah, let's talk about PT, but it's up the podium. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, boy.
Yeah, different stage of voice. Anyhow, voice is going to be good, so it's not good. But,
Yeah.
so she calls me,
Right.
talk to your children.
Right.
Somebody fight. The two of them having a little scuffle. Now, the situation is, he told on his sister and one get lashed. She turned back, she lashed him without the consulting and saying, where's that one, what happened there?
Reflex action.
And so he, why you lash me, lash him back.
But out.
By the time you want to get involved, two of them done heat up already. So the first thing I just tell my children, the very first thing I teach my children when things like this happening, first thing, have self-control. Have self-control. You always have an option to control yourself first.
Yeah.
No matter who do what to you, before you react, respond. But respond internally.
Yeah.
So I tell the children, I said, repeat afterwards. The first thing, they say self-control. I said, very good. Now, because both of you lack self-control, I can tell you both of you wrong one time.
Yes.
And there are no two
Yeah,
ways about
there
it.
are no
Both
two ways.
you hit, and you hit back, and then you hit back. I said that, so you lack control. And it's really important because I tell my son, and now I had to pull my son aside now, and in terms of our conversation, I said, talk to me, what is the problem? Now, with the boy, you gotta understand, fellas, my son sitting now among 3 girls. So it's he and 3 sisters.
Right.
You have the elder sister and then you have 2 younger ones, right? So when certain things happen, the sister can hit him. She could hit him, and he could take the lash.
Yeah.
But he never report to your mother or anybody, she lash him. But if he hit back,
Yeah.
And he got too hard.
The report
Yeah.
coming.
she shouldn't even have to report, she started cry.
Yeah.
Or she started saying,
Yeah.
ow.
Ow.
Somebody responds to her, he getting both. So easily, my son feeling disadvantaged before you could really reason out what went wrong or who's the wrong party, he already understand he could be wrong no matter what.
Correct.
So you don't even know, he gonna retaliate.
I done wrong already.
So and I know that
You don't blame me, yeah,
they would
yeah.
custom blaming me already and nobody's here for me. So
Yeah.
I honestly would have to always seem as if I'm his defense lawyer.
Yeah.
So the first thing I come to, I run to his rescue to let him know that he have an ear. Because I know he disadvantaged. He feels that way and I just let him know
Yeah.
straight up. He feels disadvantaged. So even when he
Yeah.
right, he had a fight to be heard, to be right.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable as a boy to be among us. Now, when I was growing up, it was 3 boys and 1 girl. You understand what's going on there? So the game was getting better by everybody. But in this case, 1 boy among 3 girls, he have nothing, no petting up, no nothing. He among his brethren is fight. So I had a fight now to let him hear and I had to tell him calm down. But as a man now, I had to teach him, he had to learn more self-control because he had to know that there's a little sister and they can't lash you like you lashing their partners when on the rough play.
Yeah. Different.
Even if she lash you on the lash,
Different,
you have to monitor and kind of watch how you're playing with the sisters and them. And I don't want him doing no lash. I said, don't retaliate and lash. If somebody lash you, among your sisters, you have a right to stop and say, Mommy, or call me and say, what is the problem? But the boys already feel disadvantaged because as boys, as what's going on in society, you understand? The boys already feel a certain sense of, and they don't ostracize me or I don't put in a bracket already.
Yeah.
You understand? So they will actually start to behave exactly how you already position them in society. A lot of boys, for you tell me here from a certain area, they watch you already. You're a bad boy. They even rush your resume. No resume, nothing, no. Before
They
they watch
have
you.
a good conversation.
I watch time I tell people I went to certain space and I say where I'm from. I say I'm from Lockett. Lockett. I say I'm from Lockett. Yeah, it was that bad, but I said that bad boy all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
So
you
when
from? And when they hear that, say, anybody ever get killed in your street, in your neighborhood? Well, that all over the place. But one time they put me in a bracket. And now, but I think now, when I observed my son, I started to think now a little deeper. Because I see, that's exactly how some boys in certain areas will end up going into this space called crime.
Yeah.
Because when you time in a certain neighborhood, the neighborhood already labeled like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? And we had to be careful how we label places and label persons coming out of certain areas. I know that labeling thing could actually, it's real difficult. Sometimes to remove that. I remember when if I go and talk to some people as an insurance agent, and I live in Maloney.
Yeah.
I had to change my location. They say, I live in Darby South.
Darby South.
Yeah, I said Darby South plenty times.
Yeah.
And just see like I get a response.
I'm making
But
that partial
I want people to laugh.
argument.
I say, yeah, it's Darby South, and they laugh and I say, well, it's actually called Maloney, but I just call it Darby South. But it breaks the ice.
Yeah.
You understand?
So you're not dropping it.
Yeah,
like
but
Maloney.
you don't want people to, I don't want to be labeled.
Well, is that next time with that to meet the son I was watching too. Remember, like growing up in school, your peers, and your partner, you think. But one thing to remember in school is that if a man lash you,
Right.
if you go to tell the teacher,
Yeah.
right, you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. That little boy should
Yeah,
go and
yeah,
tell.
yeah, carry news.
Start up a fight, you understand?
Carry news.
Yeah, carry news and get that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So he not know because of that age.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all that,
yeah,
so
yeah,
although
yeah,
you try
yeah,
to teach
yeah,
him
take
something,
it,
right,
or you give
that
back.
peer pressure now is that if I'm gonna tell daddy, them
Yeah.
gonna watch me. You know,
Yeah.
he's a softy and a thing. So I have to start up as a band, and you know,
Look at the
so all that mentally going on in the head.
Correct.
You
Correct.
understand? So
And how do you now get the child to understand? Forget that, it's safer this way.
yeah, walk away,
It's safer this way.
walk away. It actually hard, eh?
It's
Because of we grew up,
Yes.
it meant you really had some mental fortitude to walk away from some of them things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of people can't do that.
But
It's not as easy as we say.
no, it's not. But here, that's what I did. No, I mean that for other many nations.
However that means.
You have many
No,
children.
we're not in many nations.
For other many nations.
Not
That's
in
like
many nations.
Of many nations.
Off, but not in, right?
Abraham was a father of many nations.
Okay.
But being a father of many nations, I had to find. Let's just say enough time at Chogam. We can have your we can have your own little Chogam right now where I have flags over.
You go, boy.
No, but
You go,
you have to be creative. I had to find creative ways to tell my son, listen, this is what you're going to get into inside that space called school.
Yeah.
And I say it like this. I want you to observe something. If you're among a bunch of boys and you're not the one influencing them, you are the one being influenced.
Correct.
Here's the problem with being influenced. Even if you ain't do nothing,
Yeah.
for any time you stand up with them,
Yeah.
and
You involved.
one person do something,
You involved.
all are involved.
Correct.
I can tell you about that.
And Alistair, I kid you not, shooter form, that happened. And my son, before, but he don't know me, when it comes to these things, I say, call me first before any teacher call me, you know.
Yeah.
When the crap hit the fan,
Yeah, call
and
me
it's
first.
brown or black and it's spilling like water, call me first before the school call me. Let me hear it from you. So,
Yeah.
of course, the crap did hit the fan. And he wasn't involved, thank God. But he called me, Daddy. He called me, Daddy. I'm going to tell you one time before any teacher I understand. I said, I'm going to call you one time before any teacher. They tell me, this is what happened with the boys. Two of them was thinking, and I tell them, let me go so, because they were between class. And then we decided to run. I didn't run, and because Daddy, I was walking with them, the teacher pulled me up and tell me thing, and they're asking for it. And then I get the call from the school.
Yeah.
Come in, Mr. Augustine, stay with your son. So whatever happened inside the little melee with some other student and the teacher, but the other teacher and the teacher, I come in and say one time, I say no. And then only one time, I hear in the fence of my son.
Immediately.
Me ain't coming
To hear.
to gang up and against my son. And I said that in front of him with all the teachers. I said, at the end of the day, this is my boy. Me know what the other fellas and them do. I'm here to listen and be fair across the board. But I know. I'm defending my son and not here till the charges against him. Fair? And I listen. And I listen what I just hear because I tell myself, wherever news coming out, then I ask him, is that so?
Correct.
Daddy? Yes. Daddy?
Yes.
No. Good. He said it's not so. Somebody else has something to say now. But he feels, now the thing about it is, now that I do that with him, now that I take that position with him, he feels a little bit more protected.
Yeah.
45. My daddy have my back.
Right.
Even if I didn't do all right, he's still there with me. Because I want him to know that. Because me want no partner come and take, he arm put him around my son and say, I is a partner, them don't care, I care.
Yeah.
My son must know I care. First, pal, I hear, and he feels it, and I hear it because when I see him in different spaces, come and say, Daddy, and they come and tell him one time, Daddy, think they not like, okay. And that's how I know the influence getting in. Because when you do right now, I tell you fellas, they say that them boys and them was doing, so I tell them, boy, like you do that, like go so yes, and they know they come. I say, good. I say, I always say, if you're not the one being influenced, if you're not the one influencing, you're the one being influenced. So how to make the difference. And he learned. Now, I say that, and my mind goes back to the nonsense that's taking place at this point in time. Now, again, I see a lot of things happening with this young lady that they found murdered. And yeah, it's very sad. Tragic. And by no stretch of the imagination, you can throw that and say, and ascribe it to somebody that's lose control. That was a deliberate act put down on this wherever the backdrop is. My thing is, where self-control is concerned for men. Now, I don't know because was the autopsy out on the
Inconclusive.
Well, here it is. Interesting.
Because I wonder if she was raped.
No,
remember rape jump in the mix now.
No, ladies.
But we don't know.
I saw a video today, interesting. I saw a video in Ishmael. Right. He, based on what he said in the video, he and a couple of people paid for an independent autopsy.
Okay.
Right? And what it came back, said, because right, because he's saying it's just a few days now. The body can't be so decomposed that it's inconclusive.
Right.
So he says something is wrong, right? So he got two persons.
Right.
They
Okay.
paid this
All right.
person
So he's challenging the
independent
first
autopsy.
Autopsy then.
What they found is that she was hit in the forehead with a blunt instrument. And with the impact, it threw her back and the back of her skull burst in. So she started hemorrhaging. And that more than anything else is what killed her. But they also saw signs like in the stomach area based on the coloring and stuff. It's either she was not being fed or she chose not to eat, but she didn't have anything in her stomach. So hunger kicking now and complicated the whole thing. It didn't talk about somebody put out that thing where her
She was naked.
not naked, inside now. Body parts missing. Right, the internal organs missing. He said they dispel that. Right, there's no sign of that. Right, but based on that autopsy, it shows clearly how she was killed. The last she forehead, head mash up behind, she bleed out. So how they come them saying it's inconclusive, so.
But how?
I don't know.
Why would? All right, but okay. So some of us like to play conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
If it's inconclusive, what will lead to an inconclusive report?
Right.
What would actually make you want to say?
So listen.
That now,
Listen to this now. Listen to this now. Is it that the second autopsy, are those injuries consistent with a fall of 50 feet?
Next story right there. Thank you very much.
Huh?
Thank you very much.
The Sherlock Holmes.
No,
That should have fallen.
so that
She have fallen.
But again, no, but
no,
there
not
was
fall,
a-
no, not just fall down. Eh? This
Yeah.
is a fall of 50 feet because this person was found 50 feet down, and nobody going on hole here and dragging or
Yeah.
rest, It's known as from on top
The trade. Yeah.
to down. So, as Eric can see, as the autopsy is showing that bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
right? Bam,
Yeah, but
bam.
you would have seen, but there would have been traces of that within that vicinity where the body would have been found. Because if let's just say the person was hemorrhaging on the way down.
No, it didn't happen there.
Well, I was saying.
No,
this-
that's
this
what
is
that,
alluding
that's
to.
what
Yeah.
that's what
Is
one
it possible
autopsy.
that can happen? Yeah.
It's-
I mean, we
it's
playing
saying-
we playing detective here. We
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's that.
We just saying.
Right. So I-
But he is saying one thing. Now I can understand the inconclusive report because this person was thrown 50 feet
Yeah.
down a precipice. You have to take that fall into consideration,
yeah.
right? You have to.
right.
So that's what I'm saying. I can understand. Now, inconclusive doesn't mean they don't know, It means that there are so many factors that you just don't want to say blunt force trauma to the back of the head.
Right.
Because there were other injuries that would have been associated with this death.
But I'm very slow. Usually I'm very slow. No, I don't. No, I'm very slow. No, I ain't slow and retired.
I know.
I think I
We
can
know.
but I ain't slow.
Yeah, we know.
But I take my time
Yeah.
in jumping at the first set of news that comes out
Yeah,
of
correct,
these scenarios.
correct.
Because as I say, the first set of news might be the incorrect news.
Yeah.
Or, as I say, inconclusive.
Inconclusive.
Right. And I would wait sometimes just to make sure that now, after a week pass, whatever the case may be, then I will go and look for the latest news and then see, because our latest news would say, it has been revealed such and such and such and such and such. And so now I get the update long after the fact. But I don't rush in. But the
Yeah.
question still remains in terms of why inconclusive, you understand?
And why one
And then
was conclusive.
how come right? And how come we get more information in the second one than in the first one?
Well, I wouldn't call that more information.
Well, the accurate information then,
No, that's part.
or the exposed?
That's part of the information.
Yeah.
That's the part because all right, the two different doctors we're looking at here. So it's me and you. So I might
Right.
have
That
found-
is usually what's supposed to happen.
right. So that's how it
and it's
would
supposed to
have
be
been.
independent. I have to give my independent view, and then you come to your independent.
Right. So that's for me. That's all it was. I'm not defending any doctor or anything.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
I understand that.
But I'm saying we can't just jump to conclusions because the media right now is really not giving this incident any kind of
No wiggle room.
time
No wiggle room.
to
So there's no
really
wiggle room. I
form
think
a proper opinion
Mics
of
in your
what it
face
is.
as soon
Yeah.
as we went on down the hill there, or the
So-
in your face.
So today,
I think,
today the commissioner would have called and asked he asked the media to give them a little time to do proper investigation. Right?
Yeah.
Now, which I could agree with because remember you're dealing with the public. And as they hear something, it's me telling you, hey, so you know,
But
yeah,
understand.
and you go and tell Eric,
give the
and
police enough time. Could we, let me fast track this to the next point.
because no, but this could go real so
No,
slow.
but is he referring to the scenario as it relates to Andrea or the deceased suspect?
No, everything time, you know.
Or
because
see,
because
how
I just see a report. I
how
just see a
he-
report where one say was the next one.
How he gone through, so how he gone? And all right. Again, I'm playing conspiracy theories.
I want
I
foreign
think
pathologists to
conspiracy.
come in.
Yeah,
We could bring foreign people for
not
the
on a case
SS.
like this.
We want foreign pathologists from UK, United States, India, Australia. About
Remember
five.
last week we argue a point as to the emphasis on this case as opposed to emphasis on other cases.
Yes, exactly.
I would not acknowledge, I would not necessarily ask that we do that because it would seem horribly biased.
It would.
It would seem biased. Let's be.
But it is already biased.
Yes, it would seem that way.
It is.
Mhm.
It is.
Mhm. And some people wouldn't want to discuss that. But we in the guy.
How much autopsies they did on Ashanti?
Leave that dinner.
Exactly. So it is. And if somebody who not even close to that person could call for that, and I'm sure they would have had to pay. I don't think nobody doing an autopsy for free because they're feeling sorry. And I know autopsy is not a cheap thing.
But well again, what the positive I could take out of this somewhat is that I think that the nation now is at a boiling point. And everybody coming out and say, listen, enough is enough with regards to violence against women.
And men.
I mean,
Oh, no,
say
you
that,
say
but
men.
nobody,
Yeah,
they
Okay, I don't know, I just say.
our cases,
I just say.
our case counting as high.
Ando daddy.
I see a man get beat up today and one dealing with him today and like I would like
Like a chicken place? Like a chicken
Yes.
place?
Where's that one? Why?
I like this one should I play for TNT football squad?
What? That all that kick?
Volley? Big
No,
man
but
wanna get up and fix it. He get up and fix it right. Listen,
That's several things that just tripping me
you know
out.
you get electricity, you have to fix your ass.
This
But
one- yeah, this
no,
one scenario.
but yet
Is
here's
a
the-
whole set of eye-opening.
But here's the controversy.
Issues.
Here's the controversial aspect of this argument for me, because I saw in the press demonstrators protesting, and one person I want to have a placard, a two-piece one, and on the stomach and on the placard says, "Don't tell me what to wear. Tell them not to read." I saw it and I'm like, hold on. Are we still in this thinking that it's because of what a woman wear, a man would rape?
I had this very same discussion
Is it because
with my
really?
wife,
Are
and,
we,
for me personally, no.
yeah, I like always.
Hello.
How could we say that in a day and time and
No.
age
Well, let me show you this.
like this?
Let me show you a next twist to that. When I used to work the government service, I will call the area because the person might be watching and they might be, so I
Yeah.
want to zone in. But I had a habit of being friendly with everybody. Taxi driver, businessman, to school teacher, little boy on the road, anybody. I was a friendly, up in my operation. So one day I was talking with this young lady. She's running a store. So I used to visit stores, and just have friendly because I let them know this are wrong. Ting. I'm just having certain conversations and things. And somehow these issues came around. But I noticed, very pretty young lady, very, very pretty, but she was not dressing like how the typical young lady of her age was dressing at the time.
Right.
Long young girl,
Right.
no tight pants and thing, long jersey, reaching along by the knee, big sleeve, loose clothing, all kind of thing, which was untypical of a young lady of her age. Especially with her kind of looks, because like the front, I mean, it is what it is, that's what they like the front. They look pretty, ting. And the conversation came about, ting, but as I'm picking up little signs. And I realized every time I talk a certain thing, like she kind of pull in a little shell and thing. But we were close enough that we could talk freely. I say, I watch her say, don't tell me that happened to you. She said, yeah. When she was a certain age,
Right.
she was raped.
Right.
As a result of that, because she used to be just like that. The tight pants, and the this, and the tank top, and all kind of thing. And since then, Because in her
Just
mind,
in her mind.
Because she dressed.
because of how she looked,
Yes,
she
yes.
presented something that
And then somebody would have put that there as well. I don't think it's just something she just wake up and it's probably. It's
Somebody will
sometimes.
say, hey, I
no,
want
no,
to
not
dress up.
necessarily, you know.
No, but sometimes
No, no.
somebody would. I mean,
But
things
yeah, it
come in
would-
subliminal.
yeah.
No, no, but I'm saying from again, because of where I used to work, information research and thing. What has been found is that you without you even saying anything, women naturally, if something like that happens to them,
They start to look for
their
fault.
and the first person they start to blame is themselves.
Yeah, they start looking for
Something
fault.
I do,
Yeah.
I cause it.
Yeah.
I trigger something in him.
Yeah.
The way I look, the way I think, something about me
Yeah.
cause him to react to me that way. And that's exactly what she started to do.
Yeah.
I hear.
So she felt it's something
that was
about
the
how I was
reason why.
dressing and think that is
Yeah.
why he thinks so. Let me don't dress so anymore. Let me cover up. Let
What
me
age
take
was
it.
that?
She was like about 19,
All
20
right,
or
so
somewhere around
let
there.
me do you one. I'm gonna do you one a little better.
Yeah, better
Right?
like that.
Well, worse.
And
Then I've been in conversations with a lot of women, and I'd like just like you listen, but you're hearing some. I would call it breadcrumbs. You're seeing breadcrumbs of signs of something that has happened. And one person called a friend of mine, and we discussing stuff, and she said, I don't know what to do with this child, this, that. She's talking about her son. She's talking about the son, and I say, what is the problem with the son? And then she got my choice, and then we talk meander now to the son's father. I said, so what about him? And then I realized, okay, the son's father is an issue, but you're having a problem with men, because the talk started talking about men. And we started talking even more. And I said, tell me something, and I started to ask some more questions. Until we come to the point where she revealed, for her 16, because she grew up in a certain home, you know, a girl's home. And her father came for her, picked her up for her 16th birthday, and took her, he said to her, I'm taking you to your grandmother's place. She was anxiously waiting to see her grandmother. Desperately waiting to see her grandmother. So happy. For the year she spent there, she time to go. When she on the way, he diverted into this space, took her into this abandoned building, and raped her for her 16th birthday.
Wow.
Oh, let's take this call.
All right. There we go.
Uncle Willie,
Rubber dub
Dub
dub.
Dub.
You're known now by
Oh God! Good night, fellas. Good night.
Good night, good night. How you going?
But I leaving the floor open for people to come.
They're
Yeah, no, but
inside.
they're
I
inside.
realize like nobody I want to open bat at all.
touchy subject, man.
So I say, well, nah, somebody had to open bat.
Somebody had to open the button, man.
I like the topic. I like the conversation. But let me ask a question. It's 3 men there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. And each one of you have different views, different ideas about the same thing.
Right.
No. Sometimes it's the same problem we have with men outside in terms of some of these fellas and them, it don't take much to trigger them in.
True.
Yeah.
It don't take much to trigger these sick people outside, you
Correct.
know. So how do we deal with that? How do we deal with that? We have some men, just a piece of clothing, and them gone wild, you know. Their hormones and everything start to, it gone haywire.
Start to get jiggery.
Yes. So one has to balance. There is where balance has to come in. You have to balance the thing along with you have to be mindful of your surroundings. Where you're going, who will be around, who will be seeing you. Because there are people, that men that be scoping too, you know. Because as Eric will know, they say crime is a product of opportunity.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
You understand?
Yes.
So sometimes these fellas just waiting for opportunity, you know. They're just waiting for opportunity. No. Coming back to the issue with the young lady.
Yeah.
No, you know, 2 are the suspect there.
Correct.
The last one who died, he have 70 cases.
70 cases.
Yeah.
70 cases, you know, and 45 pending.
Yeah.
That was why the AG had a problem with the opposition when they was talking about this thing and they keeping vigil and he called them hypocrite. Because you had an opportunity to support the bail bill to prevent people from coming out and you didn't. And now the lady died, now you want to keep vigil. However, sometimes in life, some things that had to happen for other things to happen. And what I am seeing now, I like the agitation of the public. Because that is the only way we can apparently get these parliamentarians. Remember it going back to FACTA. You remember how they couldn't come to an agreement with FACTA until the Banking Association and this one come down? Right. So now you're seeing everybody in society coming out now and agitating. I also see that the same amendment bill for evidence, they suspended in the parliament, was it Friday or whatever, waiting for the opposition to give them some suggestions, plus what is happening with the public. So it bad in one way, but going forward with the constant agitation of people, the public, we will get something. And you know, as I said last week, the power of the people is always greater than the people in power.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, as if we exercise that, Willie.
Yeah.
And
as if we exercise that power.
Well, I've seen that we exercising it now because Alan, we had to do something.
Of course.
Yeah.
We had to do something because I have daughters, you are daughters.
Yes.
Everybody, I mean, oh God, if himself you have a daughter, you have people who is ladies, boy. How you gonna take that? No God. No, but the other thing, on that same issue, where they find the body and all kind of thing.
Right.
But I ain't gonna go down that road, no.
And who find the body and all that drama, and
Yeah, but I will just leave you. You didn't find it curious that all of a sudden, a certain gentleman found a man who was looking for what else?
a scrap iron.
Scrap iron.
You didn't find a certain scrap iron dealer found know where the body was.
No.
Okay, I'll leave it at that.
No, food for thought here, loud and clear.
Let me tell you something.
Thanks, my Willie.
That same scrap iron dealer get that reward $400,000.
But yes, he get it. Let me just leave that right. but I was actually sharing this story in terms of, and I'm saying that I'm sharing this story like that because I'm sharing that story in this space because I'm saying she didn't suffer the situation that your person did, the individual you spoke of. It's not like somebody pounced on her.
Yeah.
And she was wearing a certain stuff for the case to be. This is your own flesh and blood.
Yeah.
This is somebody that you would have trusted. Worse yet, she said, when she explained even further to me, she said, Alan, the problem was not only that she was angry with her father for many years, because that would have dealt with her
that's
psyche.
serious.
And she now is hurt beyond measure, and she's hurt twice as much because it was said that the same father did it to her sisters before her.
Wow.
And so now she's angry with her sisters because she said, no one warned me. No one said, this is happening to me or this has happened to me watch yourself.
Well, let me give you
And it was around the same age that they suffered that
Well,
same
let me
type
give
of
you one better than that. Well, or worse.
Worse, huh?
Imagine, just imagine, it may not be real, it may not be, but just imagine a man having sex with his 2 daughters, his wife, and his mother-in-law, not at the same time, and recording it.
Recording.
And you know what they found out? The youngest daughter was talking about it with her friend. Because it's children, you understand? They talk about what's happening home. Because like that was normal. And somebody overheard it and went and tell the teacher. And pulling the little girl and yeah, daddy, just do this and daddy. And when they investigate, if you see tapes, partners.
Not just one, eh?
Tapes. Was look, my paws raised when I hear them take my own daughter. Like.
Your paws raised when
2.
My paws raised when I saw
And here's what is worse.
We saw the tapes.
Here's what is
We saw
worse.
the tapes.
Everybody in the house know. Nobody said nothing.
Everybody in the house is aware of what's
Mother-in-law,
going on.
right down. They are aware of what was
Every
happening.
single person.
I said I just said somebody put something in Facebook here. I said not Facebook, YouTube. I said I'm big up to some people. We have Fernanda, Alexander, my boy Fallon, NBM, and a couple of people other on Facebook. Here is question: is the nation really ready to discuss all the issues surrounding gender-based violence, men's role, women's role, the justice system, the entertainment industry, etc.? So my response was. It is a good question, it's a very good question, but my further response was, when will we know when we're ready? And how do we determine,
Bro,
when we're ready?
that we can't wait to be ready.
Thank you very much.
That's the only way you can see that. There's no waiting. There's no telling, okay, let me test the temperature. All right, you're right to talk about this. No. As it raises ugly little head, that's when, as a matter of fact, let me double down on that and say, we are already too late.
True.
Yep.
We are way behind time for this discussion to happen. But in a situation like this,
It was happening.
it's not too late. It's not right. And then something else come up, and then the talk die down.
Yeah.
So now we focus our attention on something else. Come like Michael Jackson being accused of rape.
Yeah.
Something happened here, and they just, hey, oh, Michael Jackson, and then we find out Michael Jackson's story, something, just to divert the attention from. But we need to understand that this is an ongoing scenario, and you have individuals in pockets dealing with these things. We need to come together now and bring something conclusive. How do you now deal? How do we send a message to, because now I see a lot happening on not just social media but in television is actually pushing this bad touch, good touch for children to understand that these things is not now I've seen this. I've seen this when I was a little child too, growing up. You know, my body is your body but mine. You have your own body. Remember that? My body is nobody's body but mine. You run your own body, let me run mine.
You remember that whole thing?
Let's come to that. You know the children say that dancing like that and thing. But the discussion was, we've had the discussion, we've seen little stuff happening, but now how do we say this is how we're gonna deal with that situation? And then ensure that the public know that we're not in some countries, but you get caught in rape.
One time,
it's public beheading, son. There are no two ways. Public. Public.
No trial, and who say it was no.
Public. You have no two. And I argue this when I said why men rape. And I trade back and I bring back the question I asked. And I'm saying because we can't be so naive to think that it's because of a woman dress.
That's
men would have said that in the past.
I'm not accepting that at all.
But there were times that somebody said, I said, put that up on my status yesterday, and a lot of people responded. And somebody sent me post or a clip, not a clip, sorry, a posting of women in the 1800s wearing long frocks and girls and much more.
Yeah.
I mean, to rape back then, you had to be sick because you had so much. You had so much clothes. Listen, you really mean to rape. That was a lot. It was too. Just to think about it.
Yeah.
I just got married. I might have been sick. No, it's sick. But you were really rape in that time. And women are being raped with those wares. And in Saudi Arabia, I would find women still being raped. And in certain countries. And then one person, I said it on the radio station yesterday, and somebody said, so you try to tell me, and a man tried to say, we're going to watch all the way, and I said, yo, that's too archaic. And I believe the church, at a certain point as well, started to say that because women wear a certain, for instance, encouraging it. And to me, to trivialize rape to an
outfit,
is demoralizing. You now took that person's humanity.
So when you go by the beach, what to do?
And like the lady, because a woman, you don't understand, a woman will already take that and pull it and go inward with it, as they say, and start to blame and look for reasons that she would have caused this. And somebody will say, hey, that is not your fault, you know.
Yeah.
He was the wrong one.
Yeah.
I listen, I kid you not, and the nation would, I don't know, I'm shocked when I hear this because I found I'm in the nation, but
off it, not in there.
Oh,
Off, right.
I would
obviously.
off my father manager. But if you and not you, she and I engaged in, you know, and I feeling inspired. Yeah. If she, see Alan, nah, don't know. Right. That.
But that's the biggest turn off.
I don't know. It has some fellas will power through that.
It's like,
wait. It have men will tell you. I have been in conversations with men.
Yeah, that point.
They're going through.
Say, boy,
going through.
Study that.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes they say that, they say no, but they really mean yes.
No.
And I said, when I saw,
and
I was young, I was very young, I was like,
they say no, but they mean yes.
They say no, but they mean yes. I know.
You have it in you already.
No.
Them have it in them already. Them have it in them.
Because I can't tell the police, she say no, but she mean yes. And yeah, I'll be sitting behind bars, but she mean yes. No, that's the picture. That's the picture I got. That is no, I'm not doing that. You understand? Not me. If you tell me no for a fact, if I walk into a
no is no.
And I do so,
stop is stop.
Two drinks. I come in to buy a drink. I bring a drink.
I drink it for myself. I don't spend my money. I go drink it to them.
I'm not doing it. And some men,
they don't have that self-control.
Right. And this is what comes down to lack of control.
Yeah.
And then there's a sense of power.
Yeah.
Because like I said, women have been raped not only in the lower class in society, also but in the middle class, in the upper class, in the offices.
Yeah.
You understand? Some get raped by blackmail. You understand? I hear and I see. And look, I have it here. Boom. That's rape too.
Yeah.
That is blackmail, but it's also rape. Yes, no, but I'm gonna go there. How many women had Rubber dub Willie?
Hey, walking like nobody else I want to
Pal, you represent that man.
You represent. Do you think?
Doctor.
Yeah, what's happening, fellas? Do you all believe for every problem there's a genesis?
Of course. I believe so, yes.
There's a starting, right?
Yes.
And we have to get to the root cause.
Right.
Now, Alan, you opened the program with something very nice, and I want to go right there.
Right.
Because I believe that is where this whole thing could start.
Okay, going home.
You talk about how the upbringing of your son and as a father, you know, how you deal with him and how you're mentoring him and how you would speak with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he is getting the proper upbringing from a very young and tender age.
Right.
Where are some of the fathers now? How many children are being taught the right and the wrong, how to do this, how to deal with certain things. Where are we with that? So, in the absence of that, what do we have? What do we have? We have children that coming up now. Long time, Alan, you know that on a Sunday morning, you have to go to church.
Put your pot on the fire.
And when you leave church, you ain't coming home, no. You're going Sunday school. So there was institutions around the school, the church, and then every village. It took every village the whole village to raise a child.
Right.
That how they don't know.
Right now, where have all those things that have been tried and
When
tested?
last year Sunday school, Willie, the only Sunday schools that
This is
exist,
my point.
the only Sunday schools I have now is in Tobago.
Well, right, and that is in Buko.
Right.
Yeah, that is
There was-
music and all kind of
There
things.
was a time as well, going to church was a fashionable thing. When I say fashionable, everybody in society understood that on a weekend, you head out to the church.
So, Alan, so we need to get back to first, some of the issues we need to get back to first principles. And once we start there again, we will, because you can't bend a tree when it's old, you know.
No.
You have to bend the tree when it's young.
That's right.
And the children and them know, I mean, we blaming them, but we, some of the older folks, have to take some blame too.
Plenty.
We have to take plenty blame. We have to take blame from what the children and them are exposed to in the home.
Right?
You hear what Eric talk about just
And
now?
in the
there?
hand.
With that family? No, that is a sick family. Which will you think it's stopping with that 4 or 5? It has stopping there.
Because
that
here-
4 or 5 multiplying.
Because here, let me just say, he wasn't held. Just imagine, them two young girls grew up, feeling that is so normal, that they now start doing it with their husband and their children, because that is life.
That is like,
But
That's how we
Eric,
grew up.
before they reach there, and they are friends.
Well,
So they encouraging their friends. So the pool getting bigger and bigger.
yeah.
So you understand, then this thing I see Alan having his hand in. You see that
Yeah.
man's greatest friend and is also our worst enemy. You see that computer?
Because now that you're saying, put your pot on the fire Sunday morning in church, they're not going to church no more. And what church in them is whatever is in their hand.
But this is it.
What coming to them via these mediums.
No. The thing about it is, no, we just talk about music and all of that kind of thing. Now, I as a young fella, even up to now, I listen to all kind of music, good, bad, indifferent. However, I was schooled in such a way that I know what you could just listen to and discard, and then what I could take. But it have some fellas know, they don't know the difference. So if you don't know the difference of what is good from what is bad, how are you going forward? How are you going forward? And we have to start with the younger ones that coming up now. Alan, I applaud you for how you're going.
I appreciate, Doctor.
You understand? Well, I know
appreciate it.
Eric and Alistair. Me have to worry. You does no good stock when you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you does no
Willie,
good
I'm
stock when you see it.
gonna raise an answer just now.
Huh?
I'm gonna raise an answer just
But
now.
I want to power off something Willie is saying, because I've seen in real, in actuality, you see this thing you call, what people making a big thing now, and it's a broken home, and you seeing husband and wife splitting up and thing. Alright? That does leave children in a serious state, a trauma, that we don't look at.
No, we
You
don't.
leave them,
When they feel emotions
and they go in one day, and they say, yeah, well, Yeah, he doesn't tell him nothing because is you know how the thing is and so I doesn't think and he jumping now, he partner and them showing him thing. He had no male figure in his life.
Yeah.
So he going down, so he partner and them going so and he going so too. Nobody to pull him back and say, hey.
Yeah.
And as he said, the village in there again.
This is the thing.
The village
no,
not there
you,
again.
as a young fella growing up, I know when I leave my home and I walking down the street, every elderly person I meet was my parent, boy.
Correct.
We're not gone.
Correct. The community, that the respect for the elders.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. So we have to go back to first principles. And it have a next group of people that causing a next kind of problem, you know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go down I wouldn't go down with them tonight because that would have a kind of phobia.
Right.
But I ain't going down there.
Understand.
I will leave that for some other time. And
Correct. We leave that for over the rainbow.
Yeah, but you see this thing what you're discussing there, it's healthy and we need to discuss
Correct.
it. Because if we don't discuss it, brother man, it could only get worse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, boy.
I remember a time I was having a similar discussion. Actually, I wanted to do, because you know, into video and thing, I actually wanted to do a documentary, you know, how that side of thing happened in Trinidad. And this man was telling me he grew up in a particular area where it was common knowledge in the village. Incest was a normal thing. Right in Trinidad. He said it's normal, and everybody knew that. He said, but Trinidad ain't ready to talk about it. As he said, when we gonna be ready?
Yeah.
How long it had to go on? And who decides when we're ready? Was he yardstick and he say, okay, we're ready now? No, that's all. Just only point, you know my point. Hitler mash up how much Jews and things. Germany had to live with that.
Yeah.
It real, it happened.
Yeah.
Japan, Pearl Harbor, thing, whatever. They had to live with that. It real, and we could go and talk about all kind of different. This is what is happening. It had to be dealt with.
Right.
We can't keep covering it when we are ready to talk about that.
Can't stick with any
When
sound.
we gonna be ready?
Yeah.
Like, I just mentioned about that thing there, so I just remember something. I said I would bring this up. When I was in Form 4, I read my senior comprehensive.
Plenty.
Yeah, boy.
Plenty.
Real calendar with stack high so. But hear this. Now this serious. I'm not scarred by it, but this never left me. Form 4. Maths class. I don't know how that question came in that maths class.
What?
But the teacher asked, how many of you still live with your mother and father in the same house? I was the only one that put up my hand.
Wow.
The whole class laughed.
Everybody else.
Nobody, they laughed.
At you?
At me.
Oh my God.
I was a joke. It was so normal to be in the broken home that when they found here is somebody that really have their mother and father in the same house, something wrong with you.
In a math class,
Call back.
Yeah. Something had to be wrong with you. How come your mother and father still together?
Yeah.
Something wrong with that family. I said, that these people see it. Listen, they're laughing.
Wow.
Laugh out loud, the whole class. The teacher and all was shocked. I said, nah, boy, we really want you. Yeah. And that was since then. So I'm 55 today. So you
no, but back then.
No, but today it didn't change.
Yeah.
A broken home is considered more normal than one where everybody lives together. Yeah. Not even nuclear.
But
there's a normal
family.
Husband, wife, children.
Right.
Not nuclear. Well, for me, nuclear is more when you have like grandmother in the
No, that's extended family.
All right, no problem. But I hear no problem. I'm taking that.
Yeah.
But that kind of family is abnormal. A normal family in Trinidad is when you and the father alone.
Yeah.
Or the two children and the mother alone. Father just visit now and then. That is considered a normal family in Trinidad. That's how what we got.
Now again, even in those spaces, it's understood that we as I say, it done here. It is what it is. And we have different reasons why these things happen. Yeah. However, in the whole natural course of understanding as Willie put it, was the genesis. Now, I come back and I said, when I said that is a combination of both power, a man or even a woman that rapes a man is a power scenario, as well as it is lack of self-control. But beyond that, I must surmise, and I must put this inside the discussion. It's also about it's also about what it is you feed in your mind, you know, partner.
Yes.
Wait till you tell yourself before the act happens. Any act of violence. I watch men doing music video with the guns and whatever the case, and the praising and the singing the guns and whatever the case. And I remember driving through Coconut Drive. I'm leaving for my aunt, and I'm looking at, I'm listening. Yes, I'm listening to the music
coming down.
Right, and when I'm driving on this guy playing his music from his gallery, from his porch. But there's a child next door in a yard. The child can be about 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the child.
And he playing his music.
Singing the words of that fella's song.
Word for word.
And the song is one that promotes violence.
Yeah. Plain and simple. Plain and simple, because they will tell you.
And I'm saying the child singing that. And I'm saying.
But that's a topic for next day.
What is to become of this child by age 10, 11, 12? When inside that space that he lives, the norm is this music that promotes a certain type of behavior and mentality next door. Right next door. And so, remember all them things going into your membrane. You're feeding yourself these things. Somebody who commits these acts, and I was telling them, I said, challenge people, go, if you want to know, if you really want to know what your child is up to, or anybody, go look at the history of the person's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You want to see it? A flash, you just want to get just a snapshot of what is inside that person's mind. If I'm a police officer and I say, you are arrested for some kind of, give me a phone and I'm going in YouTube. I want to see history, your photos, these things that you download from your WhatsApp, these things that what kind of information you storing on your phone that would feed that type of mentality that brings about that type of outcome. And that is what the psychology or the psyche of the whole thing is where you're feeding the spirit right through. What comes out of you is what you put inside of you.
Alan, that is a topic for next day, because these people will say, it's not me, I just sing a song.
No,
what they do.
No,
but that's what they're saying.
This
is what they're saying. I have deleted one of my very good friends who is a producer from my Facebook, and I have deleted his number from my phone over that, because it have no way you can justify to me that what you producing and what you helping producing is not a stigma on this country. It have no way. All you can do all you want, say all you want. I am a professional DJ, and I will tell Trinidad, do not, when you see me playing music, don't come and ask me for it. Me the business who you did. Maybe. Rubber Dub Dub. Hello. You inside? Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
I just joined the level while William was speaking. My only child was very correct.
Yes.
And what Alan is saying now too, because the church is also saying that too. The Archbishop said the same thing in his last homily, and Hannes Benjamin on the talk show this morning, he was saying the same thing. It is the formation of your soul, your memory, your understanding, and your will, how those things were formed. When we were growing up, the church and Granny and Grandpa and the village and whoever formed that through the Sunday school and this and that, formed those things, our view, how we see things. We were fed certain things, so we have that and we can exercise those things now. But the children, as is quite correctly said, what they're feeding themselves, or there's no way they could get at self-control and see things in a way where they could humble and be a certain way. So it is a very, very serious situation, and it goes back. The only way things could be done is start with the young ones now and hope eventually things will, more people will be properly formed, their memory, their understanding, their will, their soul will be formed in a certain way that could be pleasing and kind and, be good to one another. So it's a very, very, and what is making it worse, we have the fake news and like the opposition blaming the government for what is going on. The Prime Minister can't be in everybody's house. The Prime Minister can't treat everybody.
Exactly.
So it is a very serious situation, and people will use it to create a lot of things in the country. And you've got to be very, very careful. It's a good job you all do to try to help educate and form people in a certain way, make people think a certain way. But I hope a lot of people will listen and try to understand. Okay? Have a good night.
Thanks very much.
I see, she said something important. People need to understand Caesar's group. The fella who doing big, what we call big crime now, right?
Yeah.
When you trace it, come back to what we were talking about, the Genesis. Right. I mean, it was usually the colloquial term, but he started teaching the milk and sugar.
Yeah.
Teaching the friend pencil in school. Yeah. And that gravitated to bigger things until because he keep getting away. And all right, let me see what
No, I remember some time back. Every time my daughter go to school, you see, you doubt me. I tell you, do nothing in it. I tell you that you doubt me. I tell you that is a pack of air.
Eric, do buy nothing again for this stuff.
Well, no what? So
you're banned from buying anything for this stuff.
So my daughter went to school. Now I buy stuff for my kids to go to school. Sometimes I give them they have 4 pencils, 2 pens, whatever. Right. They have enough. But when you came home a couple of days, that's all. No matter what people think now.
Alright. Watch it down with this one.
What's this?
Looking like that, there's something in
You
this.
got something else. You keep popcorn. What you say?
That's all. Yeah.
You taste this? No, you taste this?
I don't want to taste
You taste this?
I know it.
I feel like I lose weight. I feel like I lose weight. I feel like I lose weight already. This is what it is. Alright.
Sorry. So this is, I'm like, so where's your stuff? You had X, Y, and Z Monday.
Right.
Today is Wednesday. And you telling me you need to get, some child, whoever take it and thing. I said, did you speak to the teacher? Yeah, I spoke to the teacher. And what did she do? Well, nothing really. So you know me. I was present the next morning. Wait, before the teacher reached, I reached before she. So I go in, morning, nice, everything good, whatever, right? The sun yellow and the sky blue, right? X, Y, and Z is the case, thing. Well, it's true. And I say, excuse me. I say, no, that's larceny. So she looks at me like I reach real far now. I reach real far. I said, no, that's larceny.
Yeah.
Right? I say because you are allowing someone to take someone else's
You are
things without
encouraging lawlessness. You are
permission.
encouraging lawlessness.
Right? And I'm not talking about one you take, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Me get free. I didn't go buy Sharon's and say,
Yeah.
excuse me, I got $2 at pencils and walk on the store. No, then that would have been nasty.
Right, yeah. And you have been seeing it. You have a picture in the also. Is that a picture you're going to
I want to tell the nation. I
feel we need to bring men I need to come back now. No, so it goes to show that these simple things like this,
lawlessness partner.
nip it in the
My daughter came home in primary school, came home with someone skipping rope.
No, you carrying it back one time.
Wait for it. She said,
But
Daddy,
skip your place.
I said, wait. Now, I observed that she had a skipping rope. She said, Daddy, her friend gave her this as a gift. I said, where is your friend working
To buy a
to buy a skipping
to
rope to give you that rope as a gift?
Yeah.
There's no gift exchange. It's not Christmas time. It's not Christmas. There's no gift exchange. What you do with this rope? I said, take that rope because that child's mother and father bought that rope for her. Take that rope back to her. If you want a skipping rope, come and say, Daddy, I want a skipping rope, please. I say, if I had to go and work twice as hard to find my skipping rope, let me go do it.
Yeah.
Carry back the rope in the morning.
Immediately.
And do not do that again. Yes,
They
sir.
mean do not.
No, I did not do it.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
I kinda
Yes,
do
I
not
know.
do
As
that.
I said, most times I
Kinda
would,
guy
I would
sometimes,
not. And I would
sometimes.
speak with you. You see, the next time you do it, you forget.
Because you get one off. You get one
Nah,
off.
it's not one off. That's not what it's doing. That is really.
You get one off.
I let you go. But this morning, again, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a warning, carry it back, don't let it happen again. Any pencil, I said pencil, pen,
Yeah.
whatever the case may
No,
be.
I giving you
You
that.
come here, you ask for what you want,
That's
let
right.
me go get it for you.
That's right.
You ain't get it today, you will get it tomorrow, or you'll get it next week Monday. You wait.
Yeah.
I will get it for you. Wait until I bring it, but don't go taking someone else's own and come back here with it. And then next thing you know, somebody say, in the class,
Your thief.
your thief.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's how lawlessness starts to develop.
Correct.
We just see these things,
Correct.
turn a blind eye, and leave it alone.
I'm going to tell you one more that I seen that video, but I will say this for I tell my children, growing up, I say this, in this house, where you take that one? What? Who that?
Rubber
Dub
dub dub.
Dub Dub.
Hey, Robert Dub Dub. Alan,
Doctor,
what you talking about there with is something now, the children know, everything is instant gratification, you know.
correct?
Yeah.
They may know nothing about wait like when we was growing up, you know.
Yeah.
But what I really called to find to ask you gentlemen, children they still say prayers in school, right?
I think I think the school my kids go to, they say prayers. They line up on things.
Very good question. I really.
They
No,
like
I
it.
don't know, you know. I want
They
to
line
know
up.
because I know long time.
That's a private
Yeah.
school. So.
You have, before you go in and start, you line up, everybody line up outside, and you pray. It have who will
Yep.
say whatever
Yeah.
prayers it is, but you must pray.
It's
You
prayer to
must
go
accept.
in.
Prayer to
You
come.
have grace before meals,
yeah.
grace
You
after
understand?
meals,
Grace
yeah.
before meals.
and then you
And
have
then
one to leave to go
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they leave in school.
Yeah.
They don't do pray, they do pray.
Guide me
I
on
was
my
still
way.
pray because my children tell me yes. Well,
But Alan,
I put my children at RC school. I said I want them to go to a Roman Catholic
is
school.
it some school? Is it the denominational schools that doing it, or is it the government schools that doing it, or
I'm
all
thinking
schools
the
that
denominational will do it.
I don't know.
I
I don't
was
know
growing
freedom.
up.
No, you're correct
All
because I was adamant that I put my children through denominational schools because I wanted that doctrine of, I mean, even if we don't share the
yeah.
same belief
Yeah.
holistically, I still want them to get that understanding, that important part of prayer
Yeah.
in everything. Yes, that's what they was in that routine of prayer. And,
right.
and to
I'll
me,
even order with
it
this
does a
one.
lot.
Apart from if something happened in New York, 12 o'clock, 1 minute past 12, we better than them in it. In Trinidad. Now you're laughing. Don't laugh now. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, that's nobody. Alright, something I was going to ask earlier.
You gonna remember this now?
I don't remember just now because I just slipped to come to ask Alan that question there.
Nice.
But when I remember, I'll call back in because it's something pertinent to. Oh, right, it come back. Nice. I take my thing. Alan
Doctor,
and fellas, what are your views? Because that had a serious part to play in it. Corporal punishment in schools.
yeah.
That's a serious thing. That one they did.
Well, to answer that, you have a video that I want to play that will have a certain
I
answer
know
to
a
that.
long time when that was standard where they had corporal punishment in schools, but
Yeah.
now I see the children beating the teachers.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
So
push it
I
out
want
the
to
school and then they
know
push it
what
out to the
part
school too.
that is discipline.
Alright, we gotta take a little break.
Right, well, so I just leave all the way that.
Yeah, and I'll come back and I'll play that video. I want you to
Right,
see that
answer me
video.
that, please.
So let's take a little break there.
Nice. We coming back just here, Ocean. We coming back just now.
Just now, neighbor. We
Just I see. We coming back just now. Producer.
Well, it just
Don't look out at me from behind your blinds. Come on out and see what I am made of. I know you're pretty, and I can feel high, and I can do something with you. Neighbor, 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 think I love you. Neighbor, 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 think I love you.
Let me come back here.
No, but it have no phones. It have no. We just call them coin phone. You can't use no coin phone and you have anonymous call these days. I'm not like that.
No, but I was gonna make the point as though. So I taught my children growing up. I said, listen, in this house, we stand for truthfulness and honesty.
Yes.
If you do something wrong, tell me that, because if I
Before.
find out
Yeah, don't ever find
that
out.
you lied to me, the
Yeah.
consequences will be worse.
No, you're cut out. Sure.
You understand? No, but it's not that it's sure, it's how it will come.
Right.
Because if you tell me the truth and I had a BT, you might get 2 lash. If I found you a lie, I will triple it. I'll be 3 times as bad. So
Yeah.
better tell me the truth. Stand the
Taken
consequences
from-
of your
yes.
actions.
Yes.
And the thing is, more often than not, when they do tell me the truth, I might give them a little lecture. And I explain to them. So I let them realize, okay, there's benefit to being honest. Now, in some cases, depending on the severity and thing, they might get 2 lash.
Right.
But the idea is I want them to understand, the actions have consequences, but there are also some benefits to being honest.
You don't leave them, right, but
Yeah.
you don't leave them feeling as though they're abused.
Correct.
Because they've done
Correct.
wrong.
Correct.
Yeah.
You understand?
Correct.
When I do my stand-up comedy, I have this saying that goes, if you only beat the child,
Yeah.
you would have an abused child.
Right.
I say if you only love the child,
Correct.
you would have a spoiled child.
Correct.
I say if you
You know
love
my
and
daughter
be the
tell me
child,
once?
Yeah.
you will have a good child.
My daughter
Balance the
tell me
child.
once, something happened and whatever. So I see, we will have a conversation. No, daddy beat. Daddy beat.
Let me tell daddy.
Because she knows.
Daddy, I'm allowed to give it. If you don't come up, you don't need it.
Ramadan down.
Take it up.
Hey, daddy second time down. Your money down now. Why is it 6
So yeah, so I was coming to this, so I just trained that thing there. I was watching that video earlier this week, and this gentleman, I thought I see a video, you see his video on YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on. And he was basically talking about police failure. You know, they're not doing the work as they should, and the focus is wrong, and you know, they're focusing on them small things when they should focus on the big crime and all kind of thing. But here's a term he used. What? He said, police, I tell you what he told me use, boy, but basically they say like police who doing traffic duty, like trying to catch men who breaking speed limit and I think they are oppressing poor people. What? You understand?
Alright.
So I said, this man serious what he's saying? People breaking the law. And because police dealing with that,
I remember hearing that post. I heard
that is oppressing
I remember hearing that post.
poor people.
Right.
I said, so to start
But
with.
you were saying that in the month of January, where it's a banger season month.
Yeah.
No, this one was recent.
Well, right, but he was making the comment based on the time of the year that we're doing that thing.
No, but here's the thing. I said, okay. So, only poor people just drive car. Because apparently it's only poor people getting harassed and oppressed.
Yeah.
So all them vehicle up and down is only poor people. But poor people are rich. Then the next, you understand? It's so messed up.
Yeah.
And then some other people commenting in chat and agreeing with it and all kind of thing. And talking about how police go out there to make money and things. I said, if police issue 1 million tickets for the month, you don't think that's a serious state of lawlessness that we're seeing? To be issuing 1 million tickets? Not only that, if they don't get to issue 1 million tickets, how much revenue could they make? So is the problem really the police trying to make money or the lawlessness of people?
Yeah, but let's look at it from a different standpoint. They work on a quota system. If police find you out there, is it that once they find 20 persons, I get a kickback as a police officer?
Apparently that's the perception.
That's my point. So it's
stupid.
Really not
It's
it's
stupid.
it's stupid. Yeah, I have to listen. The police just tell me at time I got a bag. And before they have this whole
They
search
start
and
a bag.
the search and the alcohol sentinel. Before they bring that thing inside, a police walk up to me, you don't have a problem paying the government. So I say, yes, I have a problem.
One
I
time.
have a problem. Yes, I don't need to. I said, I put my bag in, boy. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because here's another side. Here's another side thing. Now, while they talk about the police, no problem. Here's what a man told me verbatim. He said he can't pay a bus route ticket.
And he will continue.
And he will continue. Why? Because when you work it out, when you work it out, it is more cost effective for him if he can catch to pay a bus route ticket
than to go in the
than
traffic.
to take
in
the
traffic.
than to
take
take
the
the road and highway traffic because of the time.
Now that is the most point.
Yeah.
Well, you understand?
You take a bus route ticket.
No, but he said plain. He said,
No, but
and he ain't giving no excuse.
Yeah, but at that time, right, but at that time I think the bus route ticket
it
was
is a serious
Yes,
topic
It was, yeah.
because
No, but it's the mindset now.
I was looking at the next. You talking about one chat,
Yeah.
and I was looking at another post where people actually, they're only studying 10th and they're studying this. So forget that part of the law as a police officer.
Yeah.
Right? Neglect of duty. Right? Forget that. Go and stand up by the taxi stand and see all who have fake license plate and waiting to take people train to go wherever and do wherever.
It's the job.
If you're not in it, hush your mouth. Because you will never understand it.
It's
Plain and simple.
You're a lawless society.
Yeah, that is it.
Let me share something with you now.
Somebody was saying, you're too convenient. When one bad boy get killed, you're eager to jump in the streets of Port of Spain and pull rubbish. But somebody who was not necessarily contributing to society.
Yeah, because we just go and put the rubbish.
The same neighbor.
Thank you very much.
The neighborhood of the person who died.
Thank you very much.
And here other
No
people-
protest yet for the last set of women and men who may be innocent.
So we have to come to a place, and I like what really jumped on in terms of corporal punishment.
Ah, yes.
Because corporal punishment, somebody was asking, what's the song that Rash shortly I sang?
Yeah.
Push the
Push the
creator.
creator.
They want your name in the mouth.
You understand?
Take him out of the school curriculum. You
Well,
understand?
let's watch this video. Hey, Jillian, run the video for me, please. The one with the lawyer, forget his name. Yes, please, that one. Run that for me, please. Watch this video.
Murder. It's unacceptable, right? And we have, listen, the prisoners, we don't have the death penalty in Trinidad again. The only people who impose the death penalty in Trinidad are the criminals. They have the death penalty. And of course, they ain't got no mercy committee when it comes to them. So you can't go to the mercy committee when a criminal come in your house or put a gun in your head. I had it done to me. So I know what it feels like too. So I know both sides, right? The man said he didn't know who I was and what have you. So he killed my wife, right? But then he hit me and I can't hear in one ear and all this kind of thing. So I know, right? And I am saying that when you have that kind of situation, if you want to be serious and make Trinidad and Tobago a good place to come to, you must bring back laws to help the police and the regiment and the Coast Guard organize themselves. Among the laws, the death penalty. And let me tell you something. You have to do it you have to go to referendum, right? And ask the public of Trinidad and Tobago, would you like to have the death penalty? And if they say yes, bring the damn thing back in as quickly as possible. Forget the Englishman and what's going on up there, right? Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore did exactly that, right? And he have the death penalty day after today, right? They hung two people about 2 years ago, right? And what have you? And that is one of the things. Bring back flogging, right? The corporal punishment. When I go to jail, they impose 10 strokes on a fellow, right? And I go to prison to do the appeals, and the fella say, he ain't worried about the 10 years, you know. He said, my boss says 10 strokes. I can't take that, you know. He said, I can't take that. He said, look, I'm a man, my heart ain't good, right? And so on and so on, and I have 5 children. So I said, but when you were chopping up the woman, you didn't think about the 5 children? And your heart, and then, what about that? He said, oh, boss, oh God, boss, right? Boss, don't push me down, don't push me down. Oh God, I can't take the strokes, right? You know how they used to do it? They would give them 5 as they go in. And when they're coming out, a month before they come out, to remind them to behave themselves 5 more. That is how they would deal with them. And let me tell you something. I never knew of a man who get beat like that, go back to crime. And I challenge anybody who listening to this program to tell me that they know about somebody who did that. Because I knew many of them. From the time you see they get that, right, they ain't going back there at all. And that is one of the things. So you do that, and you reintroduce the death penalty, and you give the police and the regiment a break, a chance. And that is how I see that part of it. Don't you with my client? Dole Shady, a week before he hanged, sent to call me, right? And I went because I had done some cases for him before. And I went to the jail. You know what he told me? He told me that he agreed with the death penalty. And I was so shocked. I said, really? He said, Mr. Dilima, let me tell you something. If they don't start imposing the death penalty, it go get real bad here. Dole Shady told me that. One time, Mr. Prokop, who was his lawyer too, right? Mr. Prokop asked him, he said, Dole, why you don't, let me call the police in and give them all the information that they want to know. He said to me, Mr. Prokop, if I did that, I'd be dead in 10 minutes. That's right. He was a strange man, eh? But that happened, and he told me that he agreed with the death sentence, the death penalty, and that it was the only thing that could help to save Trinidad.
Wow.
That's serious.
But I'm going to tell you, he said something, and it brought me back to a statement, because I was telling Alan about it earlier, that I heard another prominent lawyer say. Yeah, he said, when the man came in the house with gun and all kind of thing, kill his wife and all kind of thing, he said, oh God, but I didn't know it was you. Remember, he's a defense lawyer. This particular prominent defense lawyer, he said defense lawyers will not, I can't remember the right words, but basically saying criminals will not interfere with defense lawyers because they know, and this is what he said verbatim, because they know when they do their thing, them as the fellas, they had a call to represent them in court, so they leave them alone. You hear what he said? The man said, oh God, but boss, I didn't know it was you. In other words, if I knew it was you, I would not interfere with you. Yeah, but I just...
That is why I don't want to hear no defense lawyer at this point in time talking, nothing or not. Did I want to come out what it was and talk? He said that death penalty, bringing it back, it didn't make no sense. So because they they're going to the Law Association and put out a press release that they're not supporting bringing it back. I would suspect it's somewhere up on a hill or something.
Living. And question. Next question is, have you personally had any family member who met the demise of someone's bullet or someone's criminal act?
You know how Hal used to tell me once? Remember Hal, right?
Yes.
Hal used to do some work up in Lafayette till they,
Yes.
you know, some real good work.
It's a champion that was at that.
Yeah, boy. You want to know how to work with him bad. But anyhow, I remember he told me the story once. This young fella meet him. Real angry. Boss, I find they treated me bad, but boss, thing. It's 2 weeks, my mother ain't getting no water. Thing. Boss, thing. And they always call her boss. 2 weeks, his mother ain't getting no water. Trucks stop coming up the road. But Hal know why. The thinking. So he asked, he said, so when the trucks used to come, what used to do them? What do you mean? But them fellas $13 real dollars, but we used to take it from them. He ain't stopped to consider. Because you robbing the truck is why your mother suffering. So you know, the truck man is the fault, not me. I just doing what I supposed to.
They supposed to.
You understand? I
hear the hard part.
Them supposed to bring water for my mother, despite whatever I do them. I said that is so messed up.
Yeah. And that's normal for them.
That's normal thinking. I said these people not easy, boy.
Postman not even going there, them thief and pension.
Everything.
With if a pension check.
Imagine truck had a market, put a big sign on it, no cash
on
on board.
I had a hope that they could
truck and all.
You understand? Yeah. I'm telling you.
I just walk up and say, suppose you come and rob your carriage. Suppose you don't understand what we're doing here.
Now get up the machine and say, look, the money in here.
They don't know it's cash. If they say no money on board, they might understand. There's no cash there.
Or you have a picture of cash and a line.
No, but that's, I said, I didn't know if to laugh, cry, because I find that so ridiculous. He ain't stopped to consider. No. Your mother is suffering because of your actions. It's somebody else's fault, it's not my fault. I just being normal, I'm a robber, that's what I do for a living. They're still supposed to bring water for my mother.
Much bread.
Even though I meet them and beat them up in the road, they're supposed to get the next day. I said, that's so stupid.
When you have a Wassa truck to go and fix pipelines or be mobile or...
But they want to get police to go with them.
Water bottles in these areas.
Truckman said, that is it.
No,
that is it. You find water for your mother, that is it. Per bucket outside when rain fall, per barrel or something, they say that is it. You understand?
And you're shooting yourself in the
head. Yeah, but the man couldn't understand that.
And he griping over you and like he said, go get him man so you can rob him again.
Exactly.
Go get him man please to bring water so you can also rob him again and then work with cash enough to make sure and feed the family up on top.
I asked somebody in a post one because they're talking that same stupidness with the police and things. I said, here's the question. How do you determine what law the police should and should not act on when people break it?
Right.
Yes, because apparently certain things is too petty for police to act on.
Yeah.
They should only focus on the
big
things. Run around man, hills and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then your family died in an accident because a man was speeding. All of a sudden you find police should be there too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So when they stop you,
the same everything vehicle going with your niece or your
you understand?
whoever.
Yeah.
No.
The thing not supposed to be so bad.
important.
But yeah, I said something important.
If the police they do their work,
I said, boy,
man would not know that thing. So where you really want that?
Yeah, boy.
You want your cake? You want your cake? And where you want? To eat it too?
Too lawless.
And that lawlessness is because the seat of that you can see is selfishness as well.
Correct, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you're not thinking, like I tell a partner of mine, and again, probably this might send a discussion in a different direction. A partner of mine talking about, I don't know if I mentioned it in his face, he was talking about being able to have, well, he was hoping that a certain government was going to be power.
Yeah.
Because he said, I remember in the days when I gained money easy like that.
Yeah.
I
Money
said,
running.
what do you mean getting? He talking about because he was getting kickback, he was getting this, there was greasy wheels. He said he had a greasy wheels, one hand go clap, ting. I say, and I was telling him in that space when he was making the money, and he was happy and ting, and when I had to ask me hard question, I said, if we continue like that,
Where we going now?
where you eating our food and somebody else suffering because you eating our food and you do business.
Yeah.
My question is, what will your daughter and my daughter come into 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road? Would they actually understand an honest dollar? Is it that they have to grow up in a society where greasing the wheels is the norm? Is the norm?
Yep.
That's where you're trying to tell me that where we going and where we should be going. I'm telling you, I say, okay. If that's where you believe. But we it's a selfishness.
Yeah.
Because you want it for yourself alone. All for me.
Nothing for nobody else.
All for me. But you ain't thinking down the road. Like when you look at, and like that's what happened in Venezuela, I keep saying that.
Yeah.
Venezuela is what it is now.
Because of that.
Primarily because of greed.
Corruption and greed.
Greed is at the heart of corruption. Anytime you find corruption, it's because somebody is greedy.
I saw a video, and you guys are watching the videos, right? The president of Singapore, he said, within a certain time frame, how much politicians they lock up and jail for corruption and turn around the crime situation in the country. And I always say, because of that, I always say, if the government seriously want to change the crime, they could. They just have to do it.
Start up there.
Just have to do it. But that's the problem. They don't want to do it. Because then the parliament sit down, they think, they decide, we started from on top to clean house. They catch you in bribe, wherever they jail you till. We don't want to do it.
Bring him in the show, I tell you, we'll do that.
Bring it.
Look, when last I hear about
Yeah, the man say plug it.
Yes!
When last I hear about the EMBD thing?
Who's that?
EMBD.
What's that?
This big case they had going on. What's the EMBD stands for? Some politicians was involved. 500 million US.
Right.
Big money. Big money
right,
thing.
right.
Big money thing. When last I hear about that?
Until probably
Next
next election. Until next election. Whatever election gimmick will happen on it, it will probably resurface.
Alright.
That's why it's that. That's why it's that. Like I keep saying 91 now. Things happen and the discussions. So we talk about Andrea where because we talk about the scenarios or the case study.
You see what Vernon said? If they're serious about wanting to bring back the death penalty, carry it to the people. If the people say they want it,
we want it, bring it.
How much of these laws they passing?
Bring it.
Does the people have a say? You understand? They make the law, they trust. This is what we're doing now.
Why are the lawyers?
You know what I'm saying?
Why are the lawyers running the law?
Why?
Why are the lawyers? Now I'm gonna say the lawmakers, Realize that the lawyers. Why are they the one?
Because they know
running the land.
You just have to go the loophole.
And,
That's the loophole.
Right.
Of course. The loophole segment that the teacher, when they go
and
wherever to
could we
learn
now
it.
challenge our lawyers to agitate now for what is right?
No.
Not for the sake of a political party. But when you close your eyes whatever age you sleep, if you have offspring coming up after you, and they're not involved in law just like you, that same law that you refuse to put in place today, don't come back and bite your children's children. And I don't know if, and I think to me, that is where the conversation now, because you don't necessarily think generationally.
True.
I believe if the discussion starts from a generational standpoint, how do we want to look 50 years from now, if I am not here? If we watch almost every American president try to come and do something or put something in place to leave a mark or a legacy, that this is what I have done for the country.
First 100 days.
Right. But China, what they have is 100-year goals.
Yeah.
China has this succession plan where things will happen.
That's it right
if
there.
I close my eyes, something happens. As I always say, what happens in Trinidad? You go 5 years this way.
We go in 5 by
And then 10 years this way.
Correct.
And then 5 to 7 more years this way. And so we always back and forth.
I don't throw it down the tub here, I don't throw down the whole tub, all of the camera, the whole tub. What come out? Plug it back fast. With popcorn for a lot. Oh gosh, I don't throw down the popcorn.
I tell her I don't want to come here. I tell her I don't want to center.
You can't control yourself.
I tell her I don't want to center.
You have no self-control too? He's one of them? He's one of them with no self-control?
No, it's snack. It's
the one on the ground still?
Gotta take down the
So
top.
the
Come here, 10 minutes again.
You buy that, he's on the ground, you leave it and he come.
Everybody do that.
Your phone?
Oh, yours.
Where your phone, you know? Where your phone? Check my ears.
Eric, you eat my phone?
Is that a phone? You get your phone?
Alright, forget. Yeah, for long, quiet. Nice.
Yeah, so you was talking about succession.
Yeah, so we don't have, I think if we start the discussion from a point of what's to happen in succession, what happened down the road, and then start to say if we don't develop the right thinking now, we're going to land, or our children's children are going to have
No, but we seeing that.
a problem down the road. All right. A simple thing like the COVID. As simple as COVID is.
That's all in Willie.
Rub Dub. Good night.
Good night.
Hello?
You listen on the phone, you listen on the TV. Let's talk to us on the phone.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
I want to give you all the scenario.
Go ahead.
I was
You have to turn down your TV. Okay, you need to lower your TV because we are hearing your TV more than you.
If I was a judge and somebody come before me for a criminal offense like a murder or so, a judge, the lawyer who say that he's not guilty and find all the excuses for him, I would say, okay, I will give him bail. But you have to keep him in your home. if he's innocent and he can be in the public, he can be in your home until the case called. And I keep on putting off that case. So let me see how long those lawyers who want to prove that these people are innocent and can walk the street. Let us see how they will deal with that.
I like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
I like that.
Oh, I like that, you know. You know he's not guilty? Well, you keep him.
Keep it for 1 week.
A week?
We're not putting them in remand.
No. Since that is your client, that
we
you
feed
know
that.
he's not guilty, keep it.
We feed that.
Keep it because we want it. You keep it. Deal with it.
Well said. It's a good food for thought.
But I like how you touch on the succession planning.
Yeah.
Because that is something we're missing in this country in every single aspect of everything.
But We think when you hear the politicians or the parliamentarians talk back and forth, it's always about here and now. Where's this?
Yeah.
Where's this?
Yeah.
What is that? But if we sit down in the room and think, let's go down the road.
Yeah.
So the decisions we're making now is okay. Because remember now, we've just been fighting an archaic justice system.
Right.
They had to do judicial reform
And all this.
and all the different things that
Yes.
need, because there's some of the things that come from colonial, since in the colonial days, and then how long they really look over these laws and it still exists today.
Yeah.
All right, so you're looking to make it, or let's say, become a little more hybrid or a little bit more updated.
Updated and refined.
Right,
yeah.
so no problem. But if you're doing that, think now, and this is where the real thinking is, how do we make sure it fits this space based on our succession planning? Because, and it will take, like I said, and this is something that according to, but the only way this happens is if the people on one side of the divide and the other side of the divide tell them, look, go in that room and let's come up with some resolve as for the next 40, 50 years. And it's not about your side better than my side and my side better than your side. We have to come. New Zealand have been able to weather the storm with COVID. Because both sides of the parliament decided, you know what? This is for life and livelihood of
country
our.
first.
That's it.
Country first.
That's it.
Country first.
It would just take one simple conclusion among the ranks, and that would say, this is about us as a people.
Yeah.
Let me do this thing like this. We're planning going forward, and so the laws that we're going to amend, the situation we're going to deal with, first of all, we'll put the right people behind bars for the time they need to be get rid of the wrong ones who actually been doing the ills of society, because you have this thing called hardened criminals.
Right.
They're outlandish with their behavior, guns in and singing and whatever the case may be, and they're disrupting. It's not even to say they're adding to society. Their mission is to disrupt society.
Yeah.
You understand? And politicians are playing the game hand in hand with these guys. And there's no two ways about it. We know this. You understand? But it's the people who are much more powerful than the people in power, according to William, that needs to say, the enough is not what we want to say anymore. But we have to say, get inside there and go and talk. If we don't talk, nobody votes.
Yeah.
Nobody go and dip the finger. We staying away from the ballot box. We don't want to hear nobody until they go inside there and sit down and resolve something for the sake of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad first. You understand? If you're not doing that, you're not getting a vote.
And you know what I would like to see? I saw a post. Someone put up a post on Facebook, and I totally agree with it. Yes, you are the government in power. You would like to change or update amendments, whatever you want to call it, the acts and laws. What you want to change? You know what it is? When they amend the law, you know what they change? Like, for instance, this evidence act
Bill, right?
what they go and amend in that? You know? No, I asked you that question. You know?
I was actually trying to research it, yes, and I was looking at the argument from the opposition side.
Right. No, we ain't reached there yet.
No,
We ain't reached there yet.
That's the standpoint I was reading it from.
No, we ain't reached there yet, you know.
Let's hear the views of this person here.
Rubber dub dub.
Yes,
Lower the TV and speak into the phone.
Hello.
Hi.
Good night.
Good night.
Is this? I'm calling.
Yes, it is.
Hi, yeah, we hear
Follow us right here.
Hear
Speak
me?
to us on
Yeah, speak to us on the
right
phone.
here and forget the television for a couple of, it's a delay.
Yeah.
I custom looking at this show every night, right, Gaia show?
Nice.
I
Wonderful.
look at Gaia show every night. And I'm watching the picketing and everything that goes on. And you know what I keep saying, you know, they're doing all of these things what's happening now, and nobody's saying, well, let me put up a sign that the opposition could deal with what is really supposed to be done. And here tonight, I'm sitting here and I'm hearing some good feedback. You know, they need to do something. They can't just allow the politicians and the opposition to just do what they want to do.
Right,
People
exactly.
have to come to a place now where they're seeing too much lawlessness happening in a country. You know, it is too much lawlessness happening in a country. They need to get their act together. What I'm saying again, I am living on the beacon, and you see some little children walking about in the street any hour. And where are the parents? These are questions. I keep asking, where are the parents? So things are getting out of hand too much. They need to get something being done to bring back the nation good, because it is too lawless.
Yep.
It is too lawless.
Amen.
Thank you.
Right.
Look at a simple thing. 70 chances that man have an out on bail on all of them. Oh, go after the third one, something wrong.
No, and this is what I'm saying. So why you have to wait?
Forget.
All the man charges is the same thing. One or two different.
Alright, you get bail for one, okay, no problem.
So all they see when the man
Something
come
you
in
get,
all the time.
alright, you get bail a second time. We'll go the third time, something had to be wrong, friend. Stay inside. Hold it straight. Let me figure out what's going on with you.
How many bailers is gonna have? Who is this man bailer? Who was this
You understand? Nah, something had to be.
Is one did 10
And hear the funny, I hear one of our, forgot it. One of our big law people now.
SCs, senior counsel.
See, that's, chastising the police.
Yeah.
You know, and
They
basically saying
ain't coming to
it's
court.
the
And this
police
is
fault
the police fault,
open for the state of the nation.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the police don't give the criminals bail, right?
No. The police don't defend them.
The police lock them up,
Police
bring them before you, and you give them bail to go back out. And rape and mash up people.
found the
But
loophole.
the police is the problem.
You found the loophole.
Something wrong with that.
They just
Something wrong with that. State council, senior council, whatever. Something wrong with you to make that statement. Yeah, you. The police lock them up and bring them in front of you.
Django.
And your people. Nah, don't go Django. You understand? They do their work, they do their part, and they come to give evidence. But you decide to give them bail to go back home. And the police.
All here the topic hot.
Hey,
But
folks,
this
neighbors.
is a topic will take 2 or 3 minutes to cover.
And I don't want to mash me up.
Don't show the
You're
don't
no
come
longer
down.
responsible for buying anything for this tub.
Neighbor,
Send money,
see you next week, neighbor.
bring money,
Pass by anytime,
Get
neighbor.
somebody.
and let somebody
Later.
else do the budget for
Let
this
me
thing.
go
because
for
this
this.
is
Later, neighbor.
I get your message.
Oh, yeah. When you try to talk about whole wheat bread,
Don't let nobody fool you. They target these kids.
I am clean, boss.
hero to understand each other.
Yeah, I'm good.
You want to see if I'm happy or
No, right. Do I say so? When
Guys,
Who tell you that?
oh, you go sit down there and think about nothing.